Hi everyone. A bit late for today's start. Technology, I love technology. But yeah, hi, and if you've not been here before, my name is Beatrice Ajayi and I am an artist, and this is my channel. And for a while now, I've been wanting to share my art process and the work that I do in my studio and how I go about thinking of what I want to create. So yeah, I have a chat thing as well. So if anybody wants to ask any questions about anything, just type on that. Um, so yeah, so if anybody wants to chat on that, you can go ahead and do that. But today I thought I would just share something that I've been working on, a little bit of ideas that I've been wanting to build on, and so that's just what I'm going to share for the next half hour. So let's see, we'll see how that goes. I'll be checking on my phone or something. But anyway, yeah. So I wanted to share my latest work process, and I've been looking back at older paper artwork that I have that I wanted to kind of revamp and revitalize. So with those paperworks, I have been kind of cutting them and using them as collage onto my canvases. So like here, I'll just show you now this piece. I have this piece here where I have this artwork, these two characters on paper, and I cut them up and stuck them onto this canvas. And I used some gel medium to glue them on. And the gel medium is a good medium to use for this, a good glue to use, because it seals the paper in the glue. And so if I now want to use oil paint on it, like I'm going to do today, then it basically is very good because it protects the paper from the oil paint. So that's why I did that. So this one I've been doing, I started this yesterday, glued them on, and then I painted with some oil paint on it, but this still needs to dry. But I'm going to work on another one today, and then you can see some of that process with me. So I'm going to take this one off and then get myself organized. So, and try not to trip on the wires that I've got everywhere here. So I'm just gonna take this off as gently as possible. And I just want to check the time so that I can know when I'm meant to finish. I given this like a half-hour slot to share. So this is one similar to the other one that I have cut out of some paper for some old work and glued onto this canvas that I've kind of gone over roughly with acrylic paint. And we're going to work on this today with oil paint. So the oil paint that I've been using was kind of what was suggested to me when I went into the art shop. So it's not that I'm sponsored by the brand or anything like that, but basically it's one of the brands you can get for water-soluble oil paints. So this one is Cobra, but I thought that and I wanted to use that for my oil painting. And so we'll get started with that. I'll show you an example of like other oil paint. So this was an oil painting that I've done previously, and my little character here, I really loved the way that it looked, and I always have an animal friend with my characters. So I was thinking that for her, I wanted a character as well, and I kind of made a suggestion on my Instagram, which is Beatrice Ajayi artist. You could go, I think it was that one or the Beatrice Ajayi one, because I have separate Instagram handles for my different artwork that I do. So my illustrated kind of big-eyed characters, I have the Beatrice Ajayi kind of handle, and then I have other work on my Beatrice Ajayi artist one. So I work with acrylics and I work with oils, and I'll just pan around and let you see some of my other artwork on the wall. So there's digital work like I have in the clocks. Then there's a digital art print in that white frame. Then I have, these are original acrylics, this elephant character and the bear and this bird. Over here at the back, there, this strange deer character is a swamp deer that I did in oils. So there's different artwork I have around me that you can see, and I have my acrylics here that I use as well. Handy for sometimes if I want to paint an acrylic. But like I said, today we're going to be working on um, oils for this one. So yeah, if there's any questions you have, like I said, just go ahead and ask. If it's your first time here, welcome. And I'm just going to get started and start painting this. I am going to time myself. I'm still just looking at, trying to find a timeline that I can use, but I'm not seeing anything. So I am going to look for my stopwatch, and I'm going to put probably 30 minutes just to cover the time that I haven't been actually active here. So let's just do that. So I hope you're having a good day today, and thank you for joining me here. I really love painting, and I've been doing it since I was a kid. And it's just one of the most relaxing things to do. You don't have to paint. I mean, I started out just by drawing with pencils. So that's always one way to go. I'm gonna just getting myself ready and set up. So I've got brushes here that I got with the paint set. So I'm going to be using that. So I'm just going to say hi again, just for those who might have come later. So we're going to start working on this. And I wanted to give her a little animal friend as well. So we're going to try and do that if we can in the time. I mean, she's mostly painted anyway, so I don't have to necessarily work on her straight away. I can start putting some paint in the background. And I have some here already that I can start using. And I want to kind of work on the background more. So I'm going to see how I work this in. I'm just going to start working, and you can ask me any questions as I go. So I'm just using different colors, blues. I want it to be a really nice kind of pale background, kind of like this one. I kind of want this, oops, I'm not on it. Let's just go back here. I want this kind of a background for it. So I am going to be kind of leaning towards that one. And so I've been treating this, I'm going to be honest, like I paint with my acrylics and trying to be carefree. But the other side is trying to be patient with the paint drying. So I'm always working on more than one painting. Let's just put it that way, because I cannot wait for a painting to dry for like, and then before, then do nothing. So I have to always kind of be working on something. So I have different mediums here. There's a quick drying medium that I've been using as well for this. So it helps the paint to dry a lot quicker. Then there's a painting medium for mixing instead of using water all the time. Because I have my water container here that I can wash my brush off with and then clean it with, tissue. But yeah, I just mainly am trying to use the mediums themselves and not too much water. So I just kind of layer it on. If I end up not liking it, if the color's all wet and I can't do anything else with it, I let it dry and I paint over it in a different color. So I don't get I'm trying not to get too hung up on what it is that I'm doing. So sometimes I'll just go like this. Sometimes I will want to get a staggered look and layering in it. So I might just pull it in a kind of rectangular way. Or sometimes I want to, once the layers get thicker and thicker, I start to change the way that I do stuff. I'm not mixing this enough on my palette there. So I just want to kind of cover this background, and then she will be sticking out. a little bit more. Let me just turn this a little bit more. So I'm really interested in painting characters, kids, animals, because I just love the stories that they have and they have to tell their adventures and things. So I always think of myself like still a big kid, basically. And I'm always thinking of the adventures and things I can get up to. So, um, and I really love, like, it's kind of an illustrative style for this one, but I do different subject matters. But for this specifically, um, I discovered how to do these characters with their bigger eyes because I wanted to create artwork for my um, that were kind of like similar to my daughter, for example. And she had really big eyes, so I was like, right, whatever character I'm going to make, it's supposed to have big eyes. So that was what started me off focusing on the kind of way that they look with these eyes that are full of expression. Um, and make you wonder what's going on behind those eyes as well. So there's like a storytelling element to it. Um, and it depends on what is, you know, going on in the actual painting, what characters are on with the child to probably make some people interested or not. You know, I've been always interested in animals, so uh, different animals have the specific kind of meanings probably to me that I'm not fully aware of yet because I'm still going through the process of having them in my paintings. Like I use mice a lot in a lot of my paintings. So, what kind of mediums would you say you like to use in your creativity? If you are a painter or um, if you create artwork that's two-dimensional or if it's sculptural, what kind of medium do you like to use? I like to use whatever I have to hand. So I don't limit myself because wherever I am and I get an idea, I have to be able to put that idea down somehow. Sometimes I'll know how I want to finish an idea, but I will always use other mediums to help me start the process to that final concept realization. So yeah, I'm covering this background. You can see there. Just turn it, depending on the angle, because the lighting might make it a bit shiny. But yeah, also there's a lot of fun for me this year because I'm trying to think of how I can share more with my art. And yeah, I'm trying to think of how to share more my art process and to, to let people see what's involved in the background, how I come to the conclusions I come to. So yeah, it's to kind of put my foot out there and start doing all this kind of stuff. And I want her to have a little character. Somebody suggested butterflies, so that might be a thing that happens. But I'll just put this layer all over the background, and then I will start looking at what else I want to add. And as I said, all these could be blended in, and once they dry, something else can be there. So you can put another layer basically. So what I did was I mixed these two mediums together, and I have that on my palette. My palette is a bit of a mess, actually. Look at that. It's a bit of a mess. I need to actually change it, but I'm trying to use up the paint on it. And once that's done, then I will tidy it up. So yeah, at the moment I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna use a butterfly. This one, I really love the bee. Like the bee is really, really nice. It's a really cute bee. And I mean, look at the eyes and everything. So this is the level I want to take this. I will do her detail on her eyes and everything. So I've gone in here and you can see I've done the back. the background a bit more. So next, what I want to do is now play around on the face as well. So not just only the background. So I'm going to go in and start working on her eyes a little bit more. Let's see, can I zoom in so that you could see this a bit better? So, and up a little bit. So you can see her face a little better. And working on the eyes now. And trying to bring in some more of the lightness, the white into it. This has still got a little bit of blue in it, but it's fine. I'm going to squeeze a little bit of the brown. I'm trying to mix my colors more as well. That's another thing. Because I haven't been doing that as much. I have a different selection of oil paints, and I was going to get those out because I want to make sure I use them up. But then at the same time, I'm thinking the ones I have, I should just mix colors with. So I'm not even washing my brush. I am mixing the colors and trying to get colors that can work together. I'm going to make her a little bit more tan color. Start putting a bit more shadows in places. It might not show up that much yet, but as we put more and more layers, then it will all build up. But she has got blonde hair, so she is quite fair, so it's not to go too much darker, but just to add where I think there could be shadow or something. And make her a bit warmer. So I've watched a lot of different oil painting artists over the years, and there's so many approaches. Probably at the end of the day, because styles will be different. But yeah, it's just to go with whatever you feel you want your character to look like, I think. So I'm basically putting on layers, and if I feel that it's sliding around too much, then that's it. That's time to have a break and leave it alone, basically. And I'm going over a lot of the places that I put pen that were like basically areas where it would be drawing. I don't always cover all of it, but when I finally want to finish it, I don't really want that much of the pen to show. That was my drawing aspect that I'm using as a tool to help me get to where I want to get to. So this is quite a layer that's darker now. So I like to go dark then light then dark and just mix it up. So yeah, just to keep building it. You might hear some workmen in the background because they're doing some work in my street. So let's see. Just mixing in colors. I'm trying to think here. Really, yeah, I did do math. So I was trying to remember what I did in math. So I could just looked up and seen my little character there. So yeah, I mean, this will all change. I mean, I'm not really sure what's going on with her lips right now, but it will change. I will make things a lot different. So this would be like be put in the undertones, which is what I'm trying to do. some shadows. I'm going to wash my brush off. I'm just rubbing it in there. Some water. And then just, let's go back a little bit because, oops, too close. Right, okay. So as I said before, you can comment if you'd like. And so I'm just cleaning off my brush, drying it a little bit. And trying to see what I want to add next to this. If I wanted to add a butterfly, I think my tummy's trying to tell me I'm hungry. It's hilarious. After this time, I'll have something to eat. Not now, though. So what was I trying to do? Yeah, I'm thinking a butterfly here. And I haven't done my research. Oh yeah, I could see one here. I'm going to use a similar butterfly to the one I did for the swamp deer there. So I'm going to start putting it in and just put some, it's going to be just floating here, and I'm just going in and just not caring too much about things. I am following the idea of the one behind here that I can see and just free flowing on that. So let's go closer and see what I'm doing. So, and then this came out like that, and this was a bit up. So yeah, painting and creating art, I would say that you have to get a level of confidence and trust in yourself, because if you don't, then you can't actually be free in your ways of expression. Like the way that you put your brush and things, you won't even know how to express yourself. You just have to not care what other people are thinking. And if you have an idea, just try it, because you don't know what it will look like. It might look really good. So just try it. I'm going to add some red in here randomly because I want to see some color. I can always paint over it if I think it looks terrible, but I'm going to go into my black here a little bit and start bringing in some darker elements. And already that's given some interest on this page. Remember, I only have like a half hour, remember? So I was trying to think of something that I could do to add quickly to this. I am going to go in and get into the eye a little bit and start doing some things here. Adding some layers. So I'm being very loose with this. I need a bit more. But a little bit more care than I'm doing, I think. So the more layers you add, the more depth. And then I am going to be trying to make her look as natural as possible, because I don't think that these black lines are supposed to stay there. But as I say, I go dark, then I go light. So that's the way that I've been working it. And I don't care how long the layers take. And I know that there are rules that people use for when they're painting, but I don't really think about those rules. Oh my goodness, my tummy really wants to embarrass me too. So yeah, I don't think too much about those rules, because that's the only way you're going to learn how to do what you need to do. So I'm going in quite dark. And they don't look like, or they're not meant to look like children that we know or anything like that. I mean, it's the stylized artwork. That is the reality. It's stylized. So I go dark and then I go light. So I've probably gone really dark in some areas, but that's fine. I can go over it again with highlights later on. We do a lot of layers with this. A lot of layers. And back and forth. You can mix the colors in on the actual. I wanted to leave a highlighted face here, but that's going to have to blend in. That's too much of a difference. But I think that's going to be the fun part of trying to get those layers to work together. So that's what I really enjoyed with the mouse, was that. So things sometimes are blending. I'm not scared about that. So then I put something down and I go, oops. But that's all I do. I just go, oops. And then I'll fix it at some point. Like, yeah, I like that. No, I don't like that. That's kind of how I work it. It's it's stylized. It's not based on reality. So some people look at where the light is coming from. That's another thing to think about. So I am going all out on added color here. So she was, yeah, so she's got some color on her now. And then by the time I come back and add another layer to her face, that will look different. And then I add kind of colors to her eyes as well. I'm going to add, there's a specific thing when I do the dots on the eyes that really makes a huge difference, which is very surreal, but it makes a huge difference. So I'm going to do that now, is put the dot, and that dot might change. So for the dot, a very interesting difference to them when it goes on. Like it gives a life that is surreal to watch. I want to add some of the yellow to her hair, so that could be drying as well. So I'm just going to put some yellow on my. So just put some yellow there on that, and I'm going to use that. So I'm going to start mixing in some colors into that. To start getting some colors that are just. There's different ways to warm up this, but I'm going to use my bigger brush again and go on with this because I don't want to stay here forever. So I'm mixing in some other colors with the yellow to start off with, and it'll give different depth to her hair color. Instead of it just being a bright yellow, I'm muddying it a little bit. It might look a bit green actually sometimes, but I'm going to just start. Look, there's a building work going on. So yeah, I was saying before, what kind of paints or mediums do you like to use? That would be interesting to know as well. That's so I'm just going in and I'm putting a layer. Layer over and over. Just mixing that in. Mixing a little bit, as I said, of the mediums to kind of the quick drying medium as well. I'm gonna add some of the colors into her eyes. And I'll still be thinking about the background as well for this, because anytime I have butterflies or a bug, I always want to use flowers of some sort as well. So she's not just going to be here by herself in an empty space. There's going to be some other elements or subjects around them that kind of allows for their serene look. So let's go out a bit more and we can see what, so that's how much change has happened from earlier on. But like I said, her hair is very generic. So I will put some other colors in there that will change it a little bit, like to make it into like curls of sorts. So I will start adding like some other things to kind of get that variation of shadow and the curl. So yeah, but I do have a website as well. So if you wanted to find out more about what kind of stuff I do, I have a website. I am on Folksy. I am on Instagram, Facebook. My other YouTube videos have links of my other mediums that I use to share my work, other platforms that I use to share my work. So you can have a look at that and see what else is going on. But and my website is Beatrice Ajayi. So it's www.beatriceajayi, which is my name, .com. So I have different artwork on that you can have a look at. These characters with their bigger eyes, I have as kind of a lot of digital illustrations for books because I like to illustrate books as well. So yeah, if anyone's interested in that as well, please feel free to contact me and we can collaborate to create illustrated pieces of work that are the illustrated pieces for your descriptive stuff, like if you've got a book or a poem, anything like that. Or you just want to design logos. I mean, I'm very open for different designs of things. So yeah, this feels very detached from the background. So I will start adding things that will try and link them together. So I'm just going to try and do that now and see how it goes. I'm going to try and add to the background, but maybe a darker color of things. So I'm just mixing the color now, like a dark green color. And I'm using the quick drying medium. I'm going with that. I haven't touched her clothing, but I will do that at some point. So what I'm doing here is just adding some kind of like foliage in the background. I like to do that because then nature is coming into the conversation. So I'm just kind of dragging my brush across, moving it around and getting different consistencies and line shapes. And Try not to be too obvious that I'm going around her. So just trying to think of what, because I have other paintings I did that are like meadows. So I'm trying to think, what is it like if she's out and there's like, you know, forest areas and there's trees around her and things and tall, long grass. So all the ways that I try to think of the background. So when I've done that now, what I'm going to do next is put some leaves on those. So I'm just going to start working on that and mixing some more colors here. Which are not very clear on this. Basically mixing a green of sorts. And I'm going to start like some leaves. I'll make this come closer and you can see. Lift it up a bit. There's my alarm for my time. But I'll just show you this quickly and then that will be this time up. But yeah, just adding little leaves and pushing it and then pulling it away. Just like then push on, wiggle, 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 and then. And yeah, just doing more of it. Push, wiggling, doing a lot of stuff. And as I said, I'll get layers onto this as well. So let's see, one here, push. I'm gonna hold this so that it doesn't move. And another thing that I can do as well is use the back of my brush to scratch into it. So line and then scratch into it and get textures. You can use a thinner tool. I think I have some somewhere, but you can get more textures with that. I do that a lot for my acrylic work, so that's why I'm using that technique here as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go because it's so noisy outside as well, but you can see what we've done today for this segment. And yeah. So thank you for joining me in the studio for this time, but check out my channel and see what else I have on it and what else is coming and what else I want to share. But I'm really having fun having you guys in the studio and seeing some of the things I'm doing and how I'm coming up with ideas. And as I said before, I've collaged this girl on and now I'm working on her and building the layers. So it's just to kind of take your time, create your artwork, um, use your different mediums, learn what they do, how you can apply them, and have a lot of fun because I am having fun myself, basically, a lot of fun. So I'm going to go and have lunch because I'm really hungry. So I'll see you next Wednesday. I also release a Friday vlog as well of what I've been trying to do through the week. So you'll probably see some of this on that as well. But yeah, go ahead and catch up with those other vlogs. And I will see you the next time. Bye. Good to figure out how to switch this off. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.